My name is Shannon Bartlett-Smith and I'm a paper cutter based in Bristol. So initially I was working with just ceramics, making functional wares such as lighting or pottery. And then I was given a brief to make something for Truro Cathedral. They wanted something that was going to make a good impact on the audience, so I decided to go for something large and quite ethereal, and I felt like paper was the perfect medium for that. The piece I made was based on the Cornish fishing industry, and I was trying to make these wave-like structures with the piece. And as I was doing that and pulling the paper in different directions and curving it and twisting it, it began to take this wave, sea-like form. The impact of the piece was really successful. The audience seemed to really enjoy it, and at that point I realised that maybe I should start to stretch the boundaries of what paper can do. So Journeys in Paper is a collection of many different pieces that I have made so far. There's a piece called Castle to Castle. I made this piece based on the two places that I was living at the time. I lived in Falmouth, where I went to university, and they've got an amazing castle there called Pendennis Castle, and I could see this from my window, so I chose that as the famous landmark of Falmouth. And then on the other end of the piece I have Chepstow Castle, which is where my mum lives, where I grew up. Some pieces are a little more ambiguous. There's a piece called Uchtach, which means strength in Irish. I made this piece during a time where my mum was telling me a lot of stories about how our family emigrated from Ireland to England during the 50s. When they first moved here, they faced a lot of struggles, and making the piece gave me a chance to really reflect upon that. My favourite thing about working with paper is probably its versatility. I just love that you can literally do so many things with it. People think that it's a really fragile material and that its limits are quite low, but personally I just think you can just go so far with it, and I've actually been really pleasantly surprised at how strong it can be. I usually hand cut, just using a scalpel. I tend to do this because I really believe that you get a lot more of an organic feel to the piece when you haven't laser cut it and you haven't completely prepared for what it's going to look like. And I love knowing that every time I make a piece, it's always... So when I was making the collection for the show, I started to work a lot with G.F. Smith papers, and one of my favourite pieces is this grey piece, which is called Fast, and Fast translated from Irish means growth. And I was looking at the spider plants within the studio here, and a lot of the owners can be quite neglectful, and no matter how neglectful their owners are, they always seem to thrive. And I really feel like as humans we can take something from that.